Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
I don't fucking believe it. Oh well, shit happens. It's fucking life, I guess. Oh hey, what's going on out there? This is Pete over at SWR&C, and we kind of ran into a problem. We're restoring a car here, and it really doesn't matter what kind of car it is because this happens all the time on cars that are being restored. And you, the viewer, might be having the same type of problem. What is the problem here? What is the problem? What the problem is this problem right here. If you look real close, you can see that the primer is peeling off of the bare metal in different places on the back side of our deck lid that goes to the car that we're restoring. So first off, let's talk about why the situation arises and why this kind of problem even exists. It could be caused from a lot of problems. It could be caused by the soda blasting of the piece. We have this piece soda blasted, not sand blasted. You don't ever want to sandblast something like this because when you sandblast that, it will warp the metal and then you're really fucked in the ass. And well, you might as well go find another one because the one that you had sandblasted isn't going to work. But so we had this soda blasted, and we might not have got all the soda residue off of the metal. So what happened is when we went to prime that, we didn't clean it thoroughly, we didn't get it cleaned properly, and when we primed it, the primer didn't stick in various areas on our deck lid. Are we fucked on this situation? Are we stuck in the ass where we have to go have this soda blasted again or stripped or what have you? No, we're not. Alright? No, we're not. The situation we have is we got to stop the peeling from occurring, and we got to get down to the problem where we can repair this so it's a good piece to use without spending lots of money and lots of time and unnecessary applications of stripping it again and all the wear and tear that we're going to put on ourselves by worrying about the situation at hand. So of course the first thing that you want to do, you want to locate the areas where it's peeling. Now sometimes they're hard to find, but when you see an area where the primer is peeling, it's very important to go ahead and check the whole item. We'll just say the deck lid here. You could be working on a door, you could be working on the whole fucking car body. I don't know. I don't care. The easiest way to fix this problem is to start out by locating the situation. Where is it peeling? Why is it peeling? And how do we get the peeling off? And to find that out, what we're going to do, we're going to use an air hose and we're going to use our blower. Now, it's very important that you use a blower that will force out a lot of air and create a lot of explosion, you might call it, coming out of the spray gun itself, air gun itself. So that's an important issue here because what we're going to do is we are going to take our blower tip, you might call it, and we are going to go ahead and blow the areas that are peeling off. And what that's going to do, that is going to go ahead, the creation of the high pressure air blowing on the primer is going to get up under that and it's going to peel it off to where it stops. And as I'm blowing it off, I can see in this area right here that the primer is peeling as I'm blowing. Places to find the peel paint is up around your lip area here, around your latches, anywhere that two pieces of metal meet each other would be a place where it wasn't cleaned thoroughly or it wasn't prepped up right, where the primer will peel off. Now the procedure that I'm doing here, this also applies to if your paint is flaking off, or maybe your epoxy primer wasn't applied right. Underneath this gray primer is actually a coat of white epoxy primer, and if the primer wasn't cured thoroughly, this could be the cause of that also. So there's a lot of different factors that would cause this type of situation, but always remember this situation is fixable. Now that you went ahead and used your blower and you have gotten all of the loose paint off, or primer, all right, now this applies to paint as well. This happens in paint stages and primer stages, and I want to tell you again, this can be caused by very many problems. Like, let's say we were working on a fiberglass car, for instance. Here's a good story right here. Let's say, for instance, that a customer brings a fiberglass kit car over, for instance, and the car has been sitting around a long time in a raw gel coat. Or maybe you might purchase a vehicle such as this, and the car has been sitting around, and it hasn't had no primer on it, it hasn't had no type of sealer put on it, and it's just raw fiberglass. Well, let's say that you buy this car, and it's halfway built. So they've done all the mechanic work to it, and it's a body sitting on a frame that has a motor and transmission in it, but they haven't protected the fiberglass gel coat, let's say, the gel coat of the fiberglass car. They haven't protected it in any way, so the gel coat has actually saturated grease and oil into it. It has actually penetrated into it. So when you go to block sand this out, what the problem is when you don't get all that out, because there's sometimes no way to get it out, because fiberglass gel coat is just like the skin on your body. It has pores and it breathes. All right, it's not a solid compound like metal, for instance. All right, what happens is that fiberglass will always have problems as far as paint curing and paint spraying on top of it. So this just doesn't happen to metal cars. It also happens to a fiberglass car or a fiberglass product as well. We just happen to be working on a metal car here. But now back to the story, now that I've explained that. Once we have went ahead and found the situations surrounding our item, the next thing we want to do, we want to go ahead and take a drill. This is just a typical air drill, and it has a wire wheel on it. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and go around our areas with the wire wheel, and what this is going to do, it's going to go ahead and peel the rest of the primer or paint, whatever you're working with, off of the vehicle, and also rough that metal up as we go. And then you can see right here, you can see that the metal itself is now looking like a very good primerable surface, rough surface. And we also went ahead and semi-feathered out all the edges around the area that was bad. Once we have come to this stage right here, what we want to do is we want to take our D.I.Y sander, and what we're going to do today, we are going to go ahead and use 80 grit sandpaper on this, which is right here. This is an 80 grit D.I.Y sandpaper. We're going to go ahead and apply that to our sander itself. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 80 grit and feather that area out. And now, once that's accomplished, the area is now ready to go ahead and be spot primed once again with our 2K filler primer. I would go ahead and apply at least 2 coats of primer to that, not just one, because if you apply one, it won't be enough to fill in the edges here, so 2 full wets should go ahead and take care of our situation that we have. Now there might be some spots on your item that you're working on. Once again, that could be a door, that could be a deck lid like this, it could be a hood, whatever you're working on, where the DA sander might not fit in. So what you'll want to do, again, is take your drill with your wire wheel on it, and go ahead and open that up. What this is doing, once again, this is ensuring us that we took all the flaky, loose primer off. And then what you'll have to do is take your piece of 80 grit like this, fold it in half, and then actually hand sand that to a nice feathered out area where the primer will fill and stick. Just like so.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.